In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. We continue to follow the investigation into a deadly mass shooting in downtown Austin early Sunday morning. This happened outside of Buford's Bar on West 6th Street. Investigators say a suspect used a pistol and a rifle to shoot at people outside the bar. At least 14 patients were located at the scene and taken to nearby hospitals, and 2 victims were pronounced dead at the scene Sunday morning. The shooter was shot and killed by police. He has been identified as 53-year-old Indiaga Diagni. He was shot and killed by Austin police, and authorities have been searching his home. We've obtained cell phone videos showing the moments Austin police shot and killed the suspect. The video is graphic, and we're about to show you an edited version. Take a look. You just heard some of the gunshots as police shot and killed the West 6th Street shooting suspect. The suspect is on the left side of the screen in the cell phone video, and police approach him from the right. Several shots are fired. Within seconds, the shooter is down. The person who recorded that video, Nathan Como, says that he was out celebrating his friend's 21st birthday at Buford's Bar. He says the place was packed shoulder to shoulder with other UT students. He left and walked across the street just minutes before the shooting. Como says he heard the first round of fire and wasn't exactly sure if it was gunshots or a motorcycle. But by the second round, he was thankful to see police.
Yeah, and with the second round, he was walking towards me. He was walking back towards Buford's. So I'm really grateful the police got there in time. I mean, I was sitting there like a sitting duck eating my pizza. I didn't know he was coming. It could have been really bad for me and for hundreds of people holed up in Buford's. So.
Como says a friend of his is one of the 14 hurt in the shooting. Thankfully, he was released from the hospital. And police and federal agents zeroed in on a home in Pflugerville linked to the shooter. Investigators search for a motive behind the early morning shooting in downtown Austin. Neighbors saw law enforcement, including SWAT and ATF, barge into this street and start their investigation. Officials took boxes and other items from inside that house. We did not see anyone detained, but we did see officials questioning people. We were able to speak with a neighbor who says it was surprising to hear loud demands being shouted right outside of her front door.
We were out and we saw these police officers, so many cars, and then so we were really scared for some time, and then the news came out, and yeah, it was very scary at that moment.
This neighbor says she didn't really see a lot of activity at this specific house, and she was not aware of this investigation, that it was in connection to the shooting on West 6th Street. After we informed her, she was at a loss for words because of how quiet and family-friendly her neighborhood is. Black History Month wrapped up over the weekend, and one nonprofit is ending the celebration by unveiling 2 large murals in East Austin. They're located at the nonprofit Foundation Community's new affordable housing complex. KVUE's Jose Alonso shows us how this rapidly changing part of the city will forever remember the East Austin Trail Riders.
Standing 4 stories tall are murals depicting Black culture and history within East Austin. Both former members of the East Austin Trail Riders like
Horace Paul Williams,
a military veteran who Selton P. Williams considers an uncle after knowing him for 30 years before his death.
He was very instrumental in bringing us together. He started the Buffalo Soldier organization in Austin. The purpose of the Buffalo Soldiers is to educate people on the history of the Black soldiers.
And current members of the Trail Riders like Dennis J. Milligan.
We're trying to make sure that it be acknowledged that we're here. We're here to stay, and the lot that I'm on has been here since '85, so we kind of like grandfather clause in. But here recently they've been coming with zoning, to try to figure out a way to make moves without saying a word. But as far as I'm concerned, we're gonna be here.
Milligan says this part of the city is rapidly changing, but he's glad their culture is being honored, alongside other notable ways, like being the mascot for Norman Sims Elementary School.
We were riding, me and probably like 9 or 10 of my friends riding in the principal's den at the school, stopped us and was like, "Would y'all like to be the mascot?" So we volunteered, and every year we come up here for the kids, let the kids see the horse, touch the horse, give them knowledge of the horses.
The Towering Art is a 5-week-long collaboration between Tony Artizone and the nonprofit Foundation Charities, painted on the side of the new affordable housing complex named Norman Commons.
I thought it would be a great opportunity to learn about the trail riders, that they wanted the Black equestrian culture to be the theme of the murals. This is Bill Pickett behind me. So Bill Pickett kind of starts it like chronologically, and then you kind of carry over to the other mural to the contemporary riders.
The riders of today, who may not have the landscape East Austin used to be, but they're turning their culture into Central Texas education.
It's beautiful just to see that and sitting there, people recognize that. This is his picture during the end of Black History Month.
The nonprofit says these decorated complexes depicting Black history could be your next home, specifically if you're looking for affordable housing and community resources. Norman Commons Apartments is now leasing to low-income residents who meet their requirements. We'll have more details on our web article that's on KVUE.com. Reporting in studio, Jose Alonso, KVUE News.
Well, the city of Austin is honoring a local legend who made his impact both on and off the baseball diamond. City officials unveiled the renamed Don Baylor Neighborhood Park in West Austin. It used to be the Westonfield Neighborhood Park. His family says as a kid, Baylor was not allowed at the park because of segregation. Now they hope it's a reminder of Don's experiences to help make Austin what it is today.
As we close out Black History Month today, let's not forget the daily struggles that Don and others of his generation faced growing up in Austin. My hope is that all visitors to this park will look at the marker about Don, gain some knowledge about his life's challenges and successes, and appreciate what Don stood for.
And the Austin native was an American League MVP and a World Series champion, but his contributions go far beyond the baseball diamond. KVUE's Michael Courier shows what this means to his family.
You know, whenever we would either drive down Winstead or drive on Enfield, he would point to that park, you know, as a symbol of Jim Crow.
As a child, growing up in Austin's Clarksville neighborhood, Don Baylor wasn't welcome here.
He lived on the other side of the railroad tracks, what is now Mopac, and was really not allowed to play here by the local residents. And they essentially got chased away. So that was something that, you know, he always stuck with him. And
years later, Baylor went from Austin High to a 19-year big league career. But his son says this hometown honor would have meant just as much.
I think it would be a full circle moment for him. It would probably be one of his biggest achievements, you know, in addition to, you know, winning MVP, Manager of the Year. This would be, you know, right up there.
To fans, he was fearless at the plate.
He was extremely competitive. There was someone who said after he passed away that he was the nicest guy you ever met, except on the baseball field.
But at home,
I mean, he was extremely generous. He was extremely respectful. He was a man of faith, but also a huge family man.
And more than anything, he believed in hard work.
He had a lot of God-given ability, but he also worked extremely hard. He wanted to play every day, and so he never wanted to really take a day off.
That resilience defined his life, from experiencing racism as a child to losing 2 World Series in heartbreaking fashion.
When you get knocked down, you get back up, and that's just the way he was wired.
Now his name will stand in a place where he once wasn't allowed to play.
And we're glad to see it. Michael Courier with that report. In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins.